Welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke Curtis. For those of you that don't know me or first time you come to the channel, I am a photographer by trade. I enjoy making YouTube videos to help other people, and I'm the European marketing manager for a little LED company called Nanlite. We are a globally trading LED manufacturer, and we make some of the most powerful yet affordable LED lights for motion stills, which is pretty exciting. And today is a very exciting day because we have just announced the launch of the 300B. So this is from our stellar range of the Forza. We already introduced the Forza 60B. Now we're introducing the 300B, so a bicolor variant of that. For those of you that don't know what bicolor is a light that gives you the option to work between two spectrums, or two ends of one spectrum, effectively, and that's the right way to say it. So two ends of the same spectrum. So that's where that bi comes from. And what you can see over here, this is 2700 Kelvin. These lights over here are 6,500 Kelvin, and the light I'm using to light me is 5,600. So that's daylight balance. This is super cool, and this is tungsten. So we have a single light source that has the ability to shift between these two different Kelvin temperatures, and that just gives us options. I'm super pale, so by having the ability to have a light that can warm me up just means there's less work to do in post. So we've just announced it. It's super exciting. For people that are already a fan or already fans of the Nanlite family, you know, this is going to be a product that they're probably going to add to their arsenal, which is pretty exciting for us. In terms of what comes in the box, so that's what comes in the box. The big thing that's different this year is we've added, or not this year, the big thing that's different now is we've added this. So this is the WS-RC-C1. So what this gives us the ability to do is to control our lights from the camera, or control them offset, as opposed to having to get on and turn stuff up and down manually. Now, I've previously done that on sets where like I'm manually going in and changing stuff based on the director's kind of request, or the producer's request and stuff, and that can be really tiresome. So having a remote control that you can just zap in and zap out and control your light fixtures just makes life a little bit easier. The other thing is as well is, like, from an application perspective, you know, when you're on set, you don't really want to be on your phone. Like, that's kind of like my perspective. Like, you're on set, you know, everybody's got a part to play, everybody's got a job to focus on, and being on your mobile phone just doesn't facilitate it. And, you know, there are some times when you're on set and you would have signed an NDA, so having your mobile phone out on set is questionable. So having this is a great accessory to throw into the bag, and I'm pretty excited about it. And, you know, it's just a simple solution. Sometimes, you know, like, don't reinvent the wheel. It works. Simple as that. Let's talk about the specification, because I know that's kind of what you guys are here for. You want to know about the spec. So in terms of CRI, TLCI, these are like the benchmark readings for color accuracy. So we're 96 on CRI and we're 98 on TLCI. Now, there are a couple of other metrics, TM30 and SSI. So I recently just done a live stream, and my colleague over in LA, Jeremy, he used the Seconica C300, which is a fantastic piece of equipment. Like, it's worth more than some lights. Like, it's a phenomenal bit of kit, and we've done some readings on that. So if you want to know what those readings are, head over there and watch that video and you'll find out. And the reason I'm saying head over there and not giving you the information is because I'm filming this before the live stream at 9:30 AM UK time, and we do the live stream at 12 o'clock midday today. So I can't really send you there because we haven't done the live stream to be able to get that information to be able to do it. But we know we're going to do it because we've planned to do it. That was really meta, but hopefully you kind of got the gist of it. With any bicolor unit, you have two ends of the same spectrum, okay? And as you shift through those colors within that spectrum, there will be peaks, there will be points where that light is more powerful and that light is weaker. Now, the problem with that is, as you try to shift color for mood maybe, or try to shift color for a transition scene, if there are spikes in that output, that screws up all your readings across set. So what we can do basically is we can control and get a consistent shift across that color, shift across that spectrum without any spikes. And that's a really cool feature to add to this, and it just gives you the ability to control light more convincingly. So your audience is not going to go, oh, why does that spike, or why does that dip, all the rest of it. So that's a really important feature on this, and it's one of the features that I personally will use a huge amount. In terms of like the light metric, so there are other 300 watt bicolor units out there. We know that there's there's a couple of manufacturers that make products that compete, and I'm not going to name names. We are statistically, and I'm super biased, okay, so I'm always going to favor Nanlite over any brand, but statistically, when we're talking about using a C800 Seconic read meter and gaining measurements that are factual and statistic, these are facts. The 300B is 2 times brighter at 1 meter than any of our competitors, okay, and that's because of our reflector system and just where we position the COB on the actual fixture itself. So 2 times brighter, remember that. Because of where that light is positioned, what we also become is 3 times brighter at 3 meters, okay? Now, why is at 3 meters important? Most readings are done at 1 meter. So if you want to get accurate facts, all readings are done at 1 meter. That's just the benchmark that's set. At 1 meter, you're quite close to the light source, okay? Most scenarios will not do that unless you're gonna like bounce the light from a very big diffuser or a bouncer or something very close to it. You know, that measurement is pretty useless, if I'm completely honest. Like, who's gonna have the light 1 meter from their subject? It's a useless fact, but that's the way the industry measures it. 3 meters away, that then becomes realistic. In terms of where my light is from me, you know, that's within that range. So 3 meters is a more realistic ranging to be. And if it is 3 times brighter at 3 meters, it means it's got more bang for its buck. There's no point going to buy a light that's got all these super exciting kind of USPs and sings its own praises, and then at 3 meters, the light just falls off. And the reason it falls off is because light has what's called a decay cycle. So light spikes in waves, and if that light isn't powerful enough, it decays at a faster rate. Some headline statistics on it. But in terms of how this really fares in terms of the stats, and I won't go too into this because it's super boring, but I will put them information down below in the summary. So with this reflector at 2700 Kelvin at 1 meter, this is 28,540 lux. Okay, 28,540 lux at 2,700 Kelvin. If we go to the other end of the spectrum, 6,500 Kelvin, that then becomes 42,750 at 1 meter. That's super bright, but it's at 1 meter. If I was going to use that brightness to me at 1 meter, I'd just be overexposed. 3 meters, it's 2,740 lux at 2,700 Kelvin. At 6,500 Kelvin, at 3 meters, it's 4,398 lux. That's still a super bright light source at 3 meters, and we've even got 5 meter readings. So at 5 meter readings, you know, it's still super powerful and usable. That's just the source as it is with this reflector that it comes with. If you wanted to amplify this output and really get some kind of like colossal output and strength, then we have what's called the FL20, and that's basically our Fresno Adapter, which is a zoom focus lens that will intensify and magnify the light output. So the two statistics, so I go back with reflector at 5,600 Kelvin at 1 meter, 39,180 lux. At 3 meters, 3,984 lux. That's still more light than a lot of us need to use at any given point. And a lot of the time we're using these super powerful cameras that shoot at ISO infinity. So there's the machines we're using are super sensitive. So 9 times out of 10, you're not going to use that abundance of light unless you're on a massive set and you have to light a huge amount of space. If you have to light a huge amount of space, having power at 3 meters, 5 meters and beyond is super important. So good for it's great at all scales of production is what I'm trying to say. So then we have the FL20G. The FL20G is our Fresno Adapter, and that's like a lens adapter, allows us to zoom in. So at 2,700 Kelvin, at 1 meter, this is a really big number, 123,200 lux. Great. At 5 meters, 4,290 lux. Like, that's still a huge amount of power. If we looked at it at So 5,600, so it becomes 170,760 lux at 1 meter with that Fresno adapter, that zoom focus lens. Obviously, it's a magnifying glass. It's going to amplify any results you had with it off. It's just going to magnify it huge amounts. But if you are working on a big set and you have to light a big amount of space, you would use the FL20. You would bounce that into whatever you're using to diffuse and control the light, and you'd have that sheer amount of lux power heading in the direction you want it to, or you'd filter it through, or all those sort of stuff. So if you wanted more power than this gives already, the FL20 is the way to go, and it's going to give you a huge amount of power and just give you a huge boost. So there are special effects within this light that allow you to create lighting effects that, so for instance, if you wanted to create the effect of a storm or flashing lights or something along those lines, or a flickering bulb, this will allow you to do it, as opposed to having separate bits of hardware that you would use as well as this. So you have a single light source that could be a key, could be a fill, and then can create special effects. So it's kind of like a all-in-one solution to do everything. Now, the great thing we have now within these special effects is the ability to control the parameters in more detail. So for instance, if we had a flash, explosion is a great example. So we've got an explosion feature, and in that explosion you can set the decay time. So what that means is it blows and then the light just withers away. If you change that duration on the withering away, the decay process slows, okay? So it goes, disappears. If you wanted that light to linger, say for instance like a flare, so it fires the flare up in the sky and you get this almighty glow of light, and then it slowly decays as it starts to sort of burn up that fuel. You can change that decay cycle on a light source like this to create more convincing lighting effects, and that's, for me, a really important feature that I'm going to use quite a fair bit. In terms of control, I've already mentioned you get this guy, which is amazing. And then we also have DMX. So DMX is like big scale production, DMX masterboard, controlling lights up and on off. And that's for kind of like your larger scale production. So this is going to find itself very well suited in like one man owner operator scenarios, and you can put it on a big set as well. And if you wanted to control it through DMX, you've got that option open to you. Light shapers, it uses the Bowens S mount, so or Bowens, the Bowens mount as it's become to know. So there are so many lighting modifiers that we make and other manufacturers make. You will not come unstuck with trying to find a light modifier that suits your needs, which is pretty cool. So it's universal in that sense. And then you've got battery options. So this will take two 14.8 volt batteries. Now, these are two FX lines. So this is the Nano 1 and this is the Nano 2. Look at these things. They are absolutely insane. You can power this with two of these. They just slide straight in and away you go. These are two of my favorite batteries just because they are like this just makes life so much easier. Like sometimes I take this out of my house with a USB-C to lightning bolt, like a lightning adapter, and just use this to charge my phone or use it to charge my Mac. Like get one of these, definitely a must. We also make those, so Nanlite make our own range of batteries. They will not be as expensive as these. Like these are kind of the cutting edge of battery technology, and I don't mean battery efficiency. Of course they're super efficient, but what I'm saying is in technology, like they've got an OLED screen, they have these options for output, so USB-A, USB-C, micro USB. They've got everything you could possibly imagine. Now because of that obviously increases the overall price of the product. If you were looking for just a straightforward V-Lock battery that's 14.8 that plugs into your system and goes, of course Nanlite do those. Similar to this, they'd be a bit smaller. This is the 26 volt one. This you cannot use with the Forza 300B. This is for our 500, okay? So this is a huge voltage battery. Two of these will power your light for probably say you get just over an hour. But for the 300B, you would want two 14.8s, okay? So there's an example of two that you could use, but you could also get the Nanlite ones as well, because we have those available. So, and then obviously you just run it from power if that's an option to you as well. Firmware updatable, so it's now firmware updatable, which is pretty exciting. So when we improve the technologies that are available to our lights, you just download those, update through firmware. It's a bit like on your mobile phone, like, oh, there's a new update for your phone. What new cool stuff am I going to get is the question you ask yourself, and that's similar to this. So as we develop and advance our technologies, you guys are going to be open to that as well. So you're buying into an ecosystem that is future-proof and has the ability to kind of keep on being upgraded and updated, which is really exciting from a user perspective, and also exciting, you know, just from an industry perspective. Like, you know, you buy a flash system, that's what it does. It just flashes, does it? You might be able to control the flash duration slightly and the site, like, but that's what it does. It just flashes. That technology hasn't changed in 20 odd years. Whereas with this, we're saying like the technology can change, and we've got software updates to continue to change it as well. So that's really exciting from someone who has a stills background, such as myself. The carry case, if you haven't seen the carry case that it comes with, well, that's a stupid question, because you would have seen the carry case in the unboxing video that I made and I put in the beginning of this video. The carry case is amazing. You know, you can carry everything you need to onto set, and away you go. Get yourself a couple of these, stick those in the bag. You've got an hour's worth of joy on set at full power. You're not going to use this at full power, no way. Well, not an hour. You've got 50 minutes at full power. You're not going to use it at full power for 50 minutes. You might use it at 40% at, you know, on and off at intervals. So you're going to get a day's worth of usage. If you're finding that out on location, you're competing with like brighter ambient light, such as the sun, then you just go and get yourself the FL20, and then you have that 128,000 lux, whatever it is. Like, that's a huge amount of power for most creatives to use. And, you know, I've used them in scenarios like that. It's more than enough, like more than enough. It's been super exciting to announce this product. I'm going to have some more videos of me using it, you know, some behind the scenes and explanation of me using it coming up. We're still in lockdown in the UK, so it's a bit difficult to do so, but I wanted to get a video out as soon as possible, giving my insight into this. Of course, it's going to be biased to Nanlite, but also go through some of the statistics and facts. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If this is the first time you've landed on my channel, give me some feedback. If it's bad, let me know. Know. I've got some really bad videos. So if you want to go through my history of videos, go through some of those and let me know they're bad as well. Because I've already been told they're bad. I just like to know that people are watching them and I'm still annoying people. So yeah, let me know. But if you've got some suggestions for improving it, hit me up, give me a shout. If you are another YouTuber and you know you're looking at Nanlite, you're seeing everybody using them and you're thinking to yourself, man, I need to jump on this train, hit me up too. Like, get in contact with me, because I'm the guy in Europe that will make it happen for you. So if you are a YouTuber and you stumbled upon this page and you want to use Nanlite in your channel and your channel is reputable enough, give me a shout. Until next time, stay safe. I'll see you all soon.